Hey guys, this is Kevin from JazTime.com, and today we'll be doing a comparison between the Rolex Explorer I here on my left, reference number 214270, versus the Datejust 41 here on my right, reference number 126334. We'll be going over the price, the dials, bezel, case, crown, bracelet, clasp, and we'll talk about the movement towards the end of the video. Okay, so as of April 2018, you can get the Rolex Explorer I from an authorized Rolex retailer for $6,550. Or you can get the Rolex Datejust 41 from an authorized Rolex retailer for $9,350. Of course, here at JazTime.com, we always strive to have the lowest prices anywhere online, so check our website for the most up-to-date market pricing for these watches. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right into the dials now. So as you can see already, very different dial styles. At the 12 o'clock position, we have a triangular hour marker that's luminescent filled, whereas the Datejust 41, we have the Rolex Crown logo at the 12 o'clock position instead. At the 3 o'clock position, we instead have Arabic numerals 3, 6, and 9 for the Explorer I versus the Datejust 41's date window with a Cyclops lens on top of that sapphire crystal. Both have same sapphire crystal, it's just that the Datejust 41 has a Cyclops lens on top of it. You can see that little protrusion from the top of the crystal, and that magnifies and helps with the easier viewing of the date. The hands and the hour markers are all luminescent, so they use the same luminescence, which is a highly legible blue chromolite display with long-lasting blue luminescence. However, the hands themselves are different. We have Mercedes-style hands, which is this hour hand that looks sort of like the Mercedes logo, and you can see that here. Whereas the Datejust 41, we just have stick hands for both the hour and the minute hand. Besides that, we also have a 60-second tracking scale display around the edge of the Datejust 41, and the Explorer I just has simple little bolded indices at each hour marker instead. The Datejust name is located at the 12 o'clock position with the Rolex name itself, whereas the 12 o'clock position we have the Rolex Crown logo printed instead of being a nice white gold logo at the 12 o'clock position. The name is stated at the 12 o'clock position, whereas the Explorer name is stated at the 6 o'clock position. Okay. Specifically for the dial styles of these watches, the Explorer I, how you see it here, that's the only way it comes. This is the only way you can get the Explorer I. It's just the black dial with the index hour markers at 369 lume positions, which is the newest updated one. The previous model actually had the 3, 6, and 9 non-lume. For the Datejust 41 was just actually recently released from following the discontinuation of the Datejust 2. And we actually have a review comparison of that if you want to know the differences between the Datejust 2 and the Datejust 41. But specifically for the Datejust 41, the color styles, dial styles you can get this in, only comes in the index hour markers. There is a Roman numeral hour markers, but that's a little bit more special, as that one is a rhodium dial with green hour markers, which wasn't previously given in the Datejust 2 version. But besides that, if you're looking for just the index hour markers, you can get it in the rhodium, blue, black, silver, or white. And if you're feeling a little more luxurious, you can actually replace the hour markers for diamonds as well. And that's going to be an additional $2,000 on top of that retail pricing of the $9,350. Of course, there's going to be a difference in that customization, mainly because the Explorer I was, as the name states, made for exploration. Rolex marketed it as the watch for exploration, following the climbing of Mount Everest and such. They have the luminescence, so they have easier viewability at night. However, they sort of leaned more towards trying to make it a little bit more of a dressier watch, as we see this nice high polished domed bezel. Whereas the Datejust has always been sort of a dressier watch, and that's why they have the additional customizations. We have this beautiful fluted white gold bezel, which actually is why the retail pricing of these watches are vastly different, about a $3,000 difference in price range. It's mainly because this whole bezel for the Datejust 41 is white gold, whereas this is just steel for the Explorer I. Okay. Besides that, you can actually get the Datejust 41 in the steel smooth bezel as well. Of course, that will be a smaller retail pricing as well. Okay, so moving on to the case now. The case sizes are going to be a little bit different. For the Explorer 1, we're looking at a 39mm case size versus the Datejust 41, as the name states, is a 41mm case size, so a 2mm in difference in case size. One thing I do want to mention though is that for the Datejust 41, it actually has a thinner style case now compared to its previous predecessor, which was the Datejust 2, which had the bigger, bulkier case. One of the updates was that they actually made the case size a little bit thinner, and I'll show you that as I tilt that over to its side here. Okay. As you can see, that Datejust 41 actually comes out a little bit smaller than the Explorer 1, but still has the same style high polish on the side of the case, matching with the bracelet. Another thing to mention is that for the case size, not for the case size, but the case polishing, we can see a nice satin finish for the whole case on the Explorer 1. See nice satin finish throughout, whereas the Datejust 41 being the dressier watch, and Explorer 1 being more of a sportier watch, we can see the high polish on the Datejust 41 on the lugs of the case. You can see it on the lugs as well. And patterning to the bracelet as well, you can see the high polish down the center of the bracelet for the 41, whereas the bracelet on the Explorer 1 is a fully satin finish. Moving on to the case, to the crown functions, both have similar crowns. They're screw down twin lock double waterproofness systems with a water resistance of 100 meters or 330 feet. Both of them do have different style of functions for the crown though, because the Datejust 41 does have additional complication with the date. So I'll just go ahead and quickly show you those two here. So starting with the Explorer 1 first, crown unscrews counterclockwise. It'll unscrew to this first position in which you can wind the watch. 15 to 20 winds is all you need to get this watch going from a dead stop. And then tugging the crown out to the next position, which is the final position. There's only two positions, the standard, which is this one to wind the watch, and then the final position in which to adjust the time however you like. Of course, this will stop the second hand or the hacking movement, as that will allow you to set the time for precise time setting. Okay. Pressing the crown back in will start the second hand once more. As you can see, it starts moving once again. And always make sure to screw that crown in nice and tight against the case, as you want to keep that water resistance I mentioned earlier. For the Datejust 41, the crown, same thing, unscrews counterclockwise. Pulling out to the next position will, okay, there we go. So first position, again, 15 to 20 winds is from a dead stop to get the watch going once more. Tugging of the crown. Let me actually move the hand out of the way. Okay. Going into the next position will allow you to adjust the date instantaneously as shown. And in the final position, same thing, allowing you to adjust the time however you like with the stopping of the second hand for precise time setting. Again, make sure, always screw the crown nice and tight against the case. Okay? Let's go ahead and move on to the bracelets now. So for the bracelets of the watch, we have Oyster style bracelets. Like I mentioned before, we have a nice high polish down the center of the three-piece links for the Datejust 41, whereas the Explorer 1 on my left hand here has a nice satin finish throughout the whole bracelet. We move on to the clasp. You can see that pattern carries throughout and underneath the other portion of the bracelet as well. Like I said, Explorer 1, it was more of a sport, it is a sportier watch, and that's why we have that more satin finish, as it's supposed to go through everyday rugged wear. Whereas the Datejust 41, it could be worn on occasions or it could be worn every day as well. You just have to be mindful of the nice, beautiful high polish as well, as the high polish will scratches on a high polish will show much more than a satin finish. While that is sort of a downside, the high polish is absolutely gorgeous. It really brings more shine to the watch, as you can see the difference between the shine between the two. Moving on to the clasp now, and this is where one of the portions come in, where you can see the Explorer 1 is more of a sports watch because we have the safety folding Oyster Clasp versus the Datejust 41 has just the folding Oyster Clasp. So the safety is this little hinge right here. You can see it's marked out by the patterning, and you open it up by pulling the crown bottom of the crown as so, and that's the hinge that sits on top of the folding oyster. Now of course from here on it's just the same function where you just go ahead and open up as so, revealing this nicely high polished clasp blades. The Rolex name is embossed on these clasp blades, and once again I'll go ahead and close this up so you can see how that looks with the clasp closed. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the movement now. So for the movements, I'll start off with the Explorer I's movement. The movement is housed in the simple oyster case backing. As you can see, nice satin finish on the bottom of it, high polish around the edge of it. The movement that the Explorer I has is a 3132 movement, which is similar to the 3135 movement used in the Submariner, which is a truly tried and tested movement that has lasted over the years. And for that movement, for that specific movement, the only thing that was updated from similarities between that 3135 is that it has something called the high performance Paraflex shock absorbers, which the industry standard shock absorbers is just the KIF shock absorbers, but Rolex made their own in-house Paraflex shock absorbers, which absorbs 50% more shocks than normal. The movement itself is a perpetual mechanical self-winding movement. It's in-house made, has a precision of within Swiss specs of the -2 + 2 seconds a day, and the functions of the center, hour, minute, and seconds hand with precise time setting. The power reserve of the watch is just 48 hours, meaning you could put this watch down on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Sunday afternoon, and it'll be keeping time just fine. So what does the Datejust 41 movement have against the Explorer I's movement? Well, actually, because the Explorer I was released in 2016 at the Basel World Show, this one was recently released at the 2017 Basel World Show. The Datejust 41 has come in with a newer updated movement. It used to run similar to these sports pieces, which was the 3135 movement. The 3135 movement has the functions of the center, hour, minute, and seconds hand with stopping the seconds hand for precise time setting. It still has that paramagnetic blue paracomb hairspring that has additional resistance against magnetism. Within Swiss specs of the precision of -2 + 2 seconds a day, -2 + 2 seconds a day within the Swiss specs, but the 3135 3235 has been updated beyond that. And beyond that, I mean, it also has what the Explorer I has, which is the high performance Paraflex shock absorbers, the same shock absorbers, so this watch can withstand those shocks, but also the escapement has been updated as well. The escapement is based off the Rolex 3255 model, which is a Date 840 models. And they have what's called a chronology escapement wheel. So what that is that for the escapement wheel, instead of it being a full block, it's a skeletonized escapement wheel, reducing the weight of that escapement wheel and reducing the inertia, so it has that more precise time setting to keep it within those Swiss specs. But because it was skeletonized and the inertia was reduced, not only does it keep it within Swiss specs, it also helps it have an additional power reserve because of the efficiency of that chronology escapement wheel. So moving from a 48-hour power reserve to a 70-hour power reserve, you can put this watch on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Monday afternoon, it'll be keeping time just fine. Not only that, the escapement wheel is also made out of a nickel phosphorus. So that nickel phosphorus pairs very nicely with the paramagnetic blue paracomb hairspring, as both of those things are very resilient against magnetism. So the watch won't be skewed within those Swiss specs. So absolutely wonderful updates to the movement itself. Okay. So let me actually go ahead and show you these watches on my wrist now. So locate that safety folding oyster. There we are. Close it up as so. So that's how the clasp looks like. There's a watch on the wrist. Absolutely just very simple, beautiful everyday wear watch. That's Explorer I. Now for the Datejust. Much dressier, as you can see by the high polish. Closing that clasp. You can see the high polish just located almost everywhere on the watch. On the bracelet, that oyster bracelet, sides of the lugs, matching with the fluted bezel. absolute pleasure to wear, very eye-catching. But doesn't mean you can't wear this every day as well. You can, just have to be wary of that beautiful high polish. Okay. Alright, so if you're interested in these watches or any of these watches for the lowest possible price, check out our website at JazTime.com. The lowest price is guaranteed. We offer a 1-year warranty. And if you liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe below. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at JazTime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.